Dr. Henry Beecher was a Harvard-educated American surgeon. He was serving in World War II and operated on wounded soldiers. On one such day, when he was about to operate on a soldier, he noticed that there was no morphine left. Morphine is a drug that is used to alleviate pain during medical procedures. The soldier had to be operated on. There was no time. But the doctor was afraid that without any painkiller, the soldier might go into a fatal cardiovascular shock during surgery. Something had to be done immediately. Between him and a few nurses, they came up with an idea. They told the soldier that they are about to operate on him and are injecting him with morphine so that he doesn't feel the pain during surgery. But in reality, it was just saline injection, which was nothing more than salt and water. The doctor and the nurses were aware of this, but not the soldier. To their surprise, the soldier calmed down instantaneously. His reaction was such as if he had received morphine. Dr. Beecher carried on with the operation, cutting into the soldier's flesh, carrying on the necessary procedures, and then stitching him back up. All this was being done without any sedative or painkiller. After this astounding experience, whenever the hospital ran out of morphine, Dr. Beecher would use saline water. And more often than not, it worked. He was baffled by the successful results. He was motivated to dig deeper and study the phenomenon. Why was saline injection effective? Why? It made no sense. He researched the topic in detail and went on to publish a number of articles in the Journal of American Medical Association. What did he find? And more importantly, why am I telling you this story? How is this relevant to our channel, which talks about mind, body, and soul? A placebo is a substance or a procedure prescribed for psychological benefit of the patient rather than for any physiological effect. It is an inactive substance that just looks like the medicine. The saline injection was the placebo. It had no medicinal effect on the body to relieve pain, but it worked, not because it had the right medicine or chemicals, but because of the psychological aspect. What does that even mean? When the doctor or nurse administered the injection, they told the soldiers that they were administering morphine. While the soldier's body only got salt water injection, their mind got the assurance that they have been given a painkiller. That triggered something in their mind and had a calming effect on them to be able to go through the surgery. I have been following the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza for quite some time now. As a researcher, lecturer, author, and corporate consultant, his interest lies in demystifying the mystical so that people have all the tools within their reach to make measurable changes in their lives. He has done some pioneering work in the science of change and healing. He emphasizes on the power of our minds to change our lives and heal our bodies. He has extensively studied the placebo effect, including the findings of the research done by Dr. Beecher and a number of other studies. He mentions that Dr. Beecher's findings were not one-off. He gives a number of examples and studies where a saline injection or a sugar pill or something else used as a placebo produced similar results in the body as the medicine. Research shows that placebos are capable of healing anywhere between 10% to 100% of the cases they were administered to. The saline water or the sugar pills used in these studies had no medicinal properties. The people felt the impact not because of what they were injected with or what they ate, but instead because they thought or believed that it was the real medicine that was going to heal them.
I started becoming fascinated with the idea that you can give someone a sugar pill, a saline injection, or perform some false surgery or treatment, and a certain percentage of those people will accept, believe, and surrender to the thought that they're getting the actual substance or treatment.
What actually happens is that when you believe in something, whether it is a substance or a procedure or surgery, that yes, this will work for me, your mind creates an effect on the body that is similar to what would have happened if real medicine was received. Your body is responding to the thought or expectation of improving your health. When a person receives a placebo, he or she accepts it as the original medicine and then surrender their healing to it. Basically, they surrender to the thought that the substance would heal them. The more they accept the substance to bring a change in their health, the clearer the model they create in their minds that primes the brain and the body to replicate that exact substance. So, the more they believe in the cause, the better the effect on their mind and body. With that belief or thought, they then begin to program their autonomic nervous system to make the exact chemicals equal to the medicine that they think they are taking. Isn't it amazing? Our body is actually the best pharmacy ever. It's actually not a new discovery. The idea that physical reality can be altered through thoughts, beliefs, and expectations did not start from Dr. Beecher's experiments in World War II. Scriptures of all religions are filled with stories of miraculous healings using this very concept. It's just that after Dr. Beecher published his studies, there was more scientific exploration in the area. Dr. Joe Dispenza took this concept of placebo to another level by asking an important question.
I began to realize, do you need the sugar pill? Do you need the saline injection?
If the healing happened not because of the salt water or the sugar pill itself, as these are not real medicines, but because of our belief in that placebo, then is that sugar pill or saline water needed? What if we could create our own placebo? What if we can put our faith into something to give us the same impact as an external medicine or chemical? And what if we could use this not just for healing but also to improve our lives in general? This was an incredible thought, and since then he has extensively studied and researched it. It is your faith in the capacity of something outside of you to change your internal state that helps you to successfully change your inner state by thought alone. Here I would like to cite another study conducted at the University of Toledo that would further clarify how the mind determines what we perceive and experience. In this study, the researchers divided individuals into two groups, optimist and pessimist. In the first study, they gave the subjects a placebo and told them that it was a medicine to make them feel unwell. The pessimist had a stronger negative reaction to the pill than the optimist. In a second study, the researchers gave the subjects a placebo to make them sleep better. Here, the optimist reported much better sleep than the pessimist. So we observe that the optimists respond much more positively to the suggestion that the substance will give better sleep because they hope for the best future. And even when they were given the placebo to make them unwell, they did not feel as negative as the pessimist. The pessimists respond negatively because they expect the worst. The optimists were unconsciously making specific chemicals within their body that helped them sleep better, whereas the pessimists were unconsciously making substances that made them feel unwell. Isn't it astounding? Same environment, same placebo, same instructions given to two sets of people. Yet, one set responded so differently than the other, just on the basis of mindset or beliefs. The more I think about it, the more I'm amazed. You may say, while all this is interesting, what do I do about it? How is it relevant to me? This part needs a separate video on itself, but I will try to cover the concept in brief here. In fact, let's do this with the help of an example. Public speaking is a common fear among many of us. Imagine that in the past you had a bad experience or multiple such experiences related to public speaking. Now, if you are asked to give a talk, what happens? Just the thought of standing in front of 100 people makes you sick. It's not uncommon for people to actually feel nausea just before they are about to come up on stage. This is such a powerful example of how your negative thoughts or beliefs are actually making these biological or chemical changes in your body for you to actually feel sick. You did not eat anything wrong. How can you progress on the positive side? How can you muster the courage to speak in front of 100 people? Dr. Joe suggests a way based on what we just learned.
83% or 81% of the people in a depression study that are given a placebo heal as well as the people that are given the actual antidepressants. Now, there's brain scans to show changes in their brain before and after. It means then they're making their own pharmacy of antidepressants by thought alone. And it took them 6 weeks, 8 weeks of taking that placebo every single day. Now, this is an important point because most people think, oh, I did the exercise or the meditation once and my conditions should go away.
Just like multiple doses of sugar pills instead of actual antidepressants worked equally well in medical studies, we can give ourselves these placebo doses to bring about the desired changes. So back to our example. If we want to develop public speaking, we have to make changes in our thoughts from fear and negativity to confidence. To do that, we have to give ourselves regular doses of placebo. This is done by mental rehearsal. It is a common technique used by many professional athletes.
So once you can put yourself in a relaxed state, then I tell them it's like watching a movie. So it's essentially what it is. Sometimes it's like you're sitting in the stands watching yourself swim. And sometimes it's like you're in the water swimming. The key to visualization is, number one, it has to be very vivid. It has to be rehearsed many, many times. And the reason it works is because the brain cannot distinguish between something that's really vividly visualized and something that's real. So by the time Michael steps up on the block to swim a race in a World Championships or Olympic Games, he's swum that race hundreds of times in his mind before he gets up there.
The technique is simple. Close your eyes and imagine performing that action, be it public speaking or swimming competition. Actively visualize future events in as much detail as possible. The stronger your vision, the stronger the belief and the stronger the impact on your mind and body. Just like the belief of the soldier in saline injection. You do this over and over again and the impact piles up. Guided meditations focused on specific outcomes are based on this concept. What happens is that since you now start seeing yourself as a confident speaker, your mind starts to rewire. Instead of focusing on the bad aspects of your speaking, your mind starts to focus on your strengths. I am good at analysis, and let me use that more in my presentation. Adding more examples can help me make it more engaging, and so on. Your positive thoughts slowly start to drag you out of that self-defined pit of self-criticism. Slowly, with each mental rehearsal session, you start to bring change in your thoughts, beliefs, and thus actions.
How does visualization help with that?
It is everything for me.
How so?
So if you're going to play an overseas tour, say to Australia or England or something like that, I literally sat down 2-3 months before and I've made a decision in my head that I'm going to take their best bowler on. And when I train in the gym, when I'm practicing, regularly there are visuals running in my head, me dominating that bowler. When I train, I have music on, I'm putting myself in a situation where that guy is bringing the heat onto me and I'm countering that, and that becomes such a reality in your head. And invariably when I went into that situation, I ended up dominating that guy in their own home conditions.
And what specifically are you seeing when you're visualizing?
I'm actually seeing smashing that bowler all over the field. So I actually feel that emotion in my heart, and I can feel that this is going to happen. And you tune your head or you tune your mind in a way that it's so convincing in your mind that when you're in that situation, your body just takes over because it's already registered in your mind. And when that happens, you feel like, wow man, this is so powerful. Because if something looks difficult and if you don't convince yourself to go out there and achieve the opposite, you're never going to be able to do it. You can't just land in a place and say, I'll see what happens. That way your chances of succeeding become very, very low.
The applications are infinite. There are innumerable limiting beliefs that we harbor within us without ever being able to come out of them. I am shy, I am short-tempered, I am not smart, I am not creative, I can never be successful, I can't lose weight, and on the list goes. These are the negative placebos, that is, the nocebos, that we keep feeding ourselves, and these problems keep getting worse. With regular practice via mental rehearsals and guided meditations, you can start to make changes block by block, one step at a time. I hope that this video will at least make you pause and think before you put any of those limiting beliefs onto yourself. Please do share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and do subscribe to the channel for more videos on building a healthy mind, body and soul.